You are in charge of your destiny, your schedule, your income. It's all about the math, right? You got to look at the numbers. And you don't have to look at like the numbers in terms of like the dollar. Look at your attempts and look at what that yielded. You have to look at each of the ways that you enroll a client as its own channel. Can you actually give me that list right now? If not, it's not a real channel. I am latched in. I am buckled in to your business. I'm in that vehicle, just like you're in mine. Am I to this? Am I to that? Am I this? Am I that? It's so fear-based. So what? Do you want it to look like the exact same day you just had? Or do you want to get creative, grab some freaking paint, and go to town on an easel and make a new future for yourself? Do that.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to The Digest by AD Mortgage, your trusted source for what matters in the mortgage world. These days, it's not enough to simply close deals. It's about building a system that keeps them coming. So the question is, what actually turns activity into consistent revenue? Today, we're joined by Matthew Blackmer, VP of Business Development at West Capital Lending. Before building his career in mortgage, Matthew spent years in competitive figure skating. He brings that same discipline and people-focused approach to helping brokers and teams build growth through partnerships, structure, and long-term strategy. In this conversation, we will break down what a true revenue engine looks like in mortgage, from partnerships that actually produce business to the systems that keep it moving. Let's get into it. So, Matthew, thank you so much for being here today.
Pleasure to be here.
So we learned a little bit about you. I mean, you went from figure skating to now the mortgage industry. Completely separate worlds. What did that first career teach you?
Discipline, for sure. Discipline is super important, especially on the broker side of things. You are in charge of your destiny, your schedule, your income. You control the fate of your family, where you want to go. Knowing that the only person that can make sure I cross the finish line and in a corny sports reference, get to the top of the podium to win is me. And it was very cool to come into a business and an industry where I was in sole control. I didn't have to worry about what my hours were, where I needed to be, how I needed to look, my shape, whatever. I just knew that I needed to show up and deliver every day. And I love this business because I'm in control of that.
And you describe yourself as a revenue engine architect. Okay, so what separates a real growth engine from a business that's just having maybe a good month, a good week?
Belief, 100%. That is a new tagline I just added to my LinkedIn, so I love that you're immediately on it. But when I was kind of looking at where did I want my 2026 to go, I know what I love to do, and I love to work with people and make sure they are becoming whoever they want to be. And when I was sitting down and kind of reflecting on what my goals were going to be, what my year was going to look like, one thing that was very important to me was I wanted to be the person that people trusted enough to build that blueprint. And when you think blueprint, you think architect. And someone that takes a step back, thinks, okay, I know who this person is. I know what they're capable of. I understand their vision and their goals and how they want to succeed. I'm going to start building that pattern and start building that blueprint. And I think the big differentiator between someone like AI or some random dude that you just met that like you're asking for career advice for, I want to take the time to invest in you and get to know you. And by doing so, I get to understand a little bit of who they are, and I hopefully get a glimpse into what they're capable of. And what I've loved lately by building these architecture, building these blueprints, building these like layouts for where someone can go, is I get to invest in who they are and therefore believe in them. So every single person that takes 10 minutes to talk to some frivolous, loud ice skater that came from a very colorful background, they want to take 10 minutes to like ask 2 seconds of my advice. I know that they want to be better, and it's very easy for me to then believe in them. So if I get to take the little bit of time that they'll give me and understand them, understand their goals, understand their mindset, build a blueprint for them It's real easy when they already believed enough in me to lay that out for them, to then believe back in them. I think why we've seen this hockey stick growth at WestCap is because we open ourselves for those conversations every day. The fact that people are willing to take a step back and say, I don't know. And maybe you know, and I'm not sure, but you might have some form of something you can give me. So what do you got? The fact that they believe in me enough to ask for a little bit of their time, I am so happy to give it back. And if they can meet me there, I will go all the way for them.
That's great. And a lot of our partners, so, we see our partners that are searching for more leads, and they think that that's the issue. What would you urge them to possibly fix or take a look at, right? To change before they're just searching for more leads?
Sure. I mean, the math, it's all about the math, right? You got to look at the numbers, and you don't have to look at like the numbers in terms of like the dollar. Look at your attempts and look at what that yielded. One of my favorite loan officers, his name is Sergio, shout out Sergio Tapio. Absolute baller, but he is so good at converting because he understands the math behind what success looks like. He knows that if he has X amount of at-bats, he can take those at-bats and turn those into applications and turn those into folders and turn those into credit, closings, whatever that might look like. He can reverse engineer his success by sitting down and looking at the formulaic, the metric-driven, proven method that leads success for him, because he's breaking it down step by step by step and yielding that funnel into what success looks like. From there, he takes another step back and says, okay, it took 10 to 5 to 2 to 1. If you want to look at it like a reverse pyramid, how can he take that number of those 10 at-bats, those 10 leads? How can he shrink that down to 8 leads that led to 2 credits, that led to 2 applications, that led to 1 closing? How can he shrink that down further? He's looking at each individual step of the conversations he's having with his clients, and then taking that math and figuring out where can he get a little bit sharper. It's very detail-oriented work. That's my thought.
Yeah. But what do you think, I guess, broker partner or any of our partners really, they get mixed up? So like from the beginning, do you think it's easier for them, like for partnership, for follow-up, or do you think that's something that they lack in?
I think it's really important to measure your different pathways of client acquisition or client enrollment. You have to look at each of the ways that you enroll a client as its own channel. And that's been something that I learned through my tenure, was there were multiple ways for client enrollment and success. You could do it through business-to-business referral partnerships, right? Am I farming my real estate relationships, my financial professionals, my lawyers? Am I staying in front of those business-to-business partnerships that are yielding more clients from me to hopefully work with? Am I farming those relationships? That's one whole channel. That's one whole vertical. And you got to keep that healthy. Those are some of the lowest cost clients to enroll, and they're some of the highest converting. So you got that. Then you're going to move to pure aggregate digital marketing. What does that strategy look like? What type of content are you putting out? How are you putting it out? When are you putting it out? Are you measuring the success and the engagement of that content? Are you consistently reaching out to the people that are interacting and engaging with that content? There's a whole nother vertical of aggregate digital marketing. And then you just look at the basic sphere of influence. Where is your database? How often are you staying in front of them? What kind of ubiquitous campaigns are you running to make sure that you are the go-to every single time, right? Like, it's one thing to just say, like, I've got great relationships. Are those actually written out? Are they socialized? Are they real? Are they concrete? Can you actually give me that list right now? If not, it's not a real channel. So I think it's very important to take a step back and say, what are my channels of client acquisition? And how am I going to ensure that they're real, tactile, and performing?
So bouncing off this question with relationships, with your first channel, you talked about like that B2B, right? How do you suggest that our partners really make sure that that relationship is a relationship, right? We're not just doing lunches, calendar invites, that we are actually doing business together.
Girl, it's this. right? It's the opportunity. Let's get together and let's talk about how we can move the needle, right? It's got to be both ways, right? It's one thing to say like, we're doing business together because like I did a transaction for you. I'm building a business with you. You're a partner of mine. If A&D is succeeding, Westcap is succeeding. How can we ensure that we're doing that together, right? Coming up with a clear strategy of like, all right, we literally just sat down today and said, 2026, this is what it's gonna look like. You're gonna be in our spaces. You're gonna be consulting our team members. You're gonna be showing off your product selections. Just like we're gonna show you, here's how we're obtaining clients in the market. Here's what we're doing to work and build more market share in our area. It's very clear. You're gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. This is where we meet in the middle, let's grow. You have to have a clear synergy and a point of meet that you guys can develop vertically. If you don't have the future planned out together, we're not planning to do business together. If I have one client, I'm here to just make you a paycheck and then you're gonna go on your way. I am latched in. I am buckled in to your business. I'm in that vehicle, just like you're in mine. And we're driving to the same drive-in movie theater for one hell of a movie. But we gotta be on the same pathway, growing together.
And I guess the same question, but how about for borrowers? So how do we make sure that our partners are really buckled in, going to the same drive-through movie, but with our borrowers?
That's a great question, because I think that's where the disconnect comes from. And I think, my experience has always been very focused on developing business relationships. But if I think empathetically as like a loan officer, right? And I'm thinking here, how can I ensure that I am that go-to person? I mean, my identity is home ownership and access to home ownership. That's probably, I think, at the core of my beliefs and what I work towards every day is how can I help more people get into more homes in my community? I'm very lucky that most of my friends have gotten into home ownership. So, they know that who I am and what I live. My brand is very much tied to my identity and my goals, though, of that vision of access to home ownership. It's no secret what I do. Everyone knows what I do. Like, my friends don't want to hear about it anymore at this point. But I think because my brand is so loud and so tied into my mission to turn more keys and open more doors, that how can they not come to me? Like, why would they call anyone else? Because they know that Matt wants to turn Detroit into the coolest damn city in America. So of course they're gonna come to me because they know that that's what my mission is, that's my MO. So I think ultimately if you really concrete who you are, you anchor your identity to what your mission is and the why you do it. Nobody does this because they like doing DTI calculations or like, I'm not trying to I don't need to manage another freaking appraisal. Like, I am trying to give you more money in your pocket and make sure that you have a roof over your head for your family. Full stop. And I'm not even the one writing the loan. Like, I want to make sure more people can write more loans for more people. So I think it really is about, why are you doing this? And is your brand and your identity reflective of that?
That's awesome. And then regarding consistency, I guess, again, goes hand in hand with like our past two questions. Where do you see our brokers really falling off here? Do you see it in like that first? Are they coming on too strong? Are they coming on too light? Are they not addressing the situation right? I just rhymed.
Come on, Dr. Seuss.
So do you think that, where are they lacking in this process where they're losing these leads?
You just said it. Girl, you just said everything right there. Am I to this? Am I to that? Am I this? Am I that? It's so fear-based. So what? So what, you're too persistent? So what, you're too loud? So what, I'm too there? So what, I'm too aggressive too? So what, I'm too fear. Who gives a flying whatever, try to gotta watch the language.
I always say the big F word is foreclosure. The flying foreclosure.
Oh, that's good. But who cares? It's fear. You're letting your perception of you're letting someone else's perception dictate how you're gonna do your business. That's not why you're here. You're not here to be the cool girl. You're here to help people get into more homes and save more money. You're here because you believe in the mission of home ownership and you believe in the core principle of shelter for all. I'm assuming that's why you do this.
Yes.
I don't do this for the perks of like entertainment are fun, but like I do this because I believe like I want to make the world around me a better place. And I think if more people have access to home ownership, the world's a better place. Why would I let one person's annoyance of who I am dictate how I exist? No. I'm sorry, I'm not the right fit for you. I can tell you who will be. And if that person's better for you, great. Because I want to make sure, like, if you're not working with me, I want to make sure you're working with someone. Because ultimately, like, every loan officer is here to close a deal. Like, I want to ensure that you're at least helped. And if I'm not that right person because my candle burns too brightly,
Yep.
boo-hoo. That's cool. No skin off my back. But I am here to ensure that every person I work with gets a home. So while not you, who can I talk to? I'm not going to be rooted in fear. That's where loan officers fall off on. They're afraid this campaign's not working. They're afraid that call was too bad. They're afraid they're being too persistent. They're too annoying. They're too, no. Why are you doing this? Why did you put that headset on to dial 400 people today? To help more people home. So let's ensure you have the pathway to do that.
How big of a part do you think that, partnering lenders, they do events, they give education, right? How big of a piece do you think that our partners need to be involved in that for continuous learning or continuous plugins with what's going on with their lender partners?
I mean, that's so important. You need to understand how I'm doing what I'm doing, right? If like being able to open up the hood and say like, this is what we are doing. It's like going to the auto shop with your car. Here's my engine. Please tell me what's working, what's not, right? Like the lenders have done this already, right? That's why they're giving us their money because they have more of it. So we want to know like, this is what we're doing right now. Where can we get better? So it's so important to be tuned into our ecosystem because you're the ones that have accomplished this already. This studio is really cool. Like we don't have that. So how can we get there? Let me show you what's up. But if I can't show you what's under the hood, how are you going to tell me what's going on? Like it's one thing to read me the news, like, okay, cool. Girl, my carburetor's not working. Like, I don't even know about this, like big special you got. I need to know, how can I make this run better? So consultative experiences, being engaged in our ecosystem, understanding our operational hierarchy and structure, knowing where our freaking loans come from, that changes everything because then you can get in as the best mortgage professionals in the industry. I think most account executives know more than loan officers, just like I think loan officers know more than realtors. No shade. But like you understand from a higher level what we're doing and you're working with higher level executives other than us, and you can kind of create that collaborative lifeline between each other. So it's so important. I don't know if like a giant party is gonna, move the needle for me tomorrow, but what I can tell you is it does tell me that I have a trusted advisor that's gonna have my back when times get a little sticky.
And this is gonna be like a huge shift now. We're talking more mortgage operations or I guess internal.
Okay.
What is your take on loyalty programs? Do you think they're useful? Do you encourage?
I think they're useful, but like, I'm gonna hang out with you because I like you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not picking up the phone and saying, hey girl, like it's been so fun hanging out with you. Thank you for those like extra 20 bonus points. Do you want a margarita? Like, no, I don't want to get an espresso martini and talk about like my free rate lock extensions with you. Like, and that's where the business happens, right? I'm going to talk to you about my business in vulnerable moments. But if the conversation is about the perks, why do we have to have the perks if I like you?
Right.
Like I'm not going to Big Lots to buy my stuff. Like I'm going to go to Amazon because I can get it quick, efficiently, and I know it's going to be there. Big Lots is going to be cheaper. Dollar store cheaper. Are you doing your grocery store shopping at the dollar store? No. You're going to Meijer. You're going to Kroger. You're going where it's dependable and they're going to have what you need. So yeah, savings are great. Loyalty programs are great. What's more important is the fact that I know you're going to be there when I need you. And it's not just answering the phone. It's not just replying to the email quickly. Like I remember being held to if you don't return my call within 12 hours, you are no longer working. I promise you, I'm going to get back to you and I'm going to fight tooth and nail, but that's because the people that know me trust me to deliver.
Right.
Loyalty programs are great because they do provide those perks. You're going to give those perks though to people you know need them.
Yes.
Like if I need to ask you for a lock extension, we probably need it somewhere because I'm a high level professional, but I'm going to do business with you because I trust you, because I want to work with you.
I 100% agree. I always say to use this as almost like a back pocket like tool, but not to use it as like a selling point.
Yes.
Back in the day when we didn't have a loyalty program, I had to build everything off of relationship. There was almost nothing to offer somebody as like a perk. They had to truly like you. They had to like the company, the process. And then we popped out with our loyalty program and it was like, oh, this is cool. And I was already loyal to you, but here's extra for you.
Yes.
So when you're selling the perk before you're selling like yourself, now they're only depending on the perk. And when that perk, let's say, happens to go, they don't care about you.
Right. Completely agree. Completely agree.
So a little rewind to your Big Lots reference, right? Like kind of, you talked about reliability, efficiency, right? Dependability. But what about like speed and structure, right? Super important on the operation side. How much do you think that this actually affects long-term revenue growth, having that speed, that efficiency, reliability?
So I think speed and reliability, like I'm not going to give you my mortgage paycheck, right? Like the way I'm paying my bills, I'm not going to give that to you unless you have those things, right? Now, here's where I think we get a little muddied in the waters of like what speed really means. Like we think of speed like open, close, loan open, loan fund, I get money. It's so much more complicated than that. There's so much more depth to the term of like speed. I want to know that you have agility to maneuver us to a solution should things get sticky, right? Like, hey, I like a change in circumstance for a loan, right? If I'm having to submit a change in circumstance, I need to manipulate the yield spread because we're upping the rate because we hit safe harbor or points and fees or whatever that is, right? I can't tell you how frustrating I have watched loan officers struggle. Just like, what do you mean I need to wait 48 hours for a return on one simple push of a button? Like we all know how to go into your typical LOS and make an adjustment on a loan structure. What do you mean I need 48 hours before you can review the most minute of tasks, right? Like now 48 hours to review a K1, take your time. But like when we say, oh, our turn times are blanketed across like any sort of operation, that's when I think you start to see people lose their mind because they're like, I know what like time sync goes into this level of work. I know what time sync goes into this level of work. We all are able to think empathetically. And when sometimes you don't have a little bit more specificity into why the time cost is as high as it might seem, things might get frustrating there. And therefore you lose the perception of speed because you don't have agility. I think that's what's really important to a lender this day and age when it comes to ensuring a broker should send their business to you, is knowing I can give you a quick manipulation and you can move quickly and freely.
And to finish us off, one final question. I know it's so sad we're over,
but
a good one. What's one piece of advice you'd give to our brokers to turn their business into a real revenue engine this year?
Okay, it's twofold. One, gotta believe, and you gotta go for it. Like if you allow indecision to root you in your forward progress, you're going to stay stuck. Like this is such a pivotal time in our market right now. Like, and it's so funny. People are like, this market, it's a different market. It's not, but we are at a crossroads where something really great could happen or something tough is going to happen. There's a lot of uncertainty right now because of the climate we live in. That's okay. But realistically, that should not root you in indecision. You need to charge forward with your belief system and your identity. If you take that away and you allow your decision-making to stop your identity from progressing, that you're just gonna be stuck on a rooted leash, barking at what could have been your future. So you need to believe and charge forward. And then you need to get creative. Like, the future is solely up to those that come up with a new way on how to shape it. Like, whatever tomorrow's gonna be is gonna be whatever the hell you made it. So do you want it to look like the exact same day you just had? Or do you wanna get creative, grab some freaking paint and go to town on an easel and make a new future for yourself? Do that. But you can't do that by sitting back in your indecision and not taking the colors that God gave you and making a kick-ass canvas. That's my advice.
Love it, Matthew. Thank you so much for being here today.
This is really fun. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This is a blast.
Anytime. We'll have you
I look
anytime.
forward to 2026
On
of
the
A&D.
company card.
No, this is really fun. Thank you so much.
That was a strong one. A real look at what it takes to move from scattered effort to consistent growth. A revenue engine is built on structure, on repetition, and the right partnerships. Now it's your turn. What's the one area in your business that's holding back your growth today? Is it leads, follow-up, partnerships? Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a new episode. Your interactions help the algorithm keep serving you content that helps you win more business. So until next time, take care, stay informed, and let's continue growing together.